Hello and welcome to this week Middle East Economy Weekly Observation. Today is 2025, June 16th. Let's start from UAE's macroeconomy. The UAE's GDP reached 1,776 billion in 2024 with a 4% growth. I think this is the latest data published in the last Sunday. Um, for the non-oil GDP grew by 5%. Um, totaling 1,300 billion, and for the oil-related activities is 400 billion. So total is 1,700 billion in 2024. Here is also mentioned transport and storage rate with 9.6%. Following with that is the construction sector 8.4%. The World Bank has a forecast for the UAE from 2025 to 2026. So in 2025, it's increased its forecast from 4% to 4.6%, and 2026 increased 0.8%. So I guess it's from 4.2%, 4.1% to 4.9%. For the 2027, it's 4.9% as well. So the continuous improvement of the UAE's economic condition, so give a very positive result on the World Bank forecast. And this very good economic condition is will be supposed to last for 3 years. Let's look at some Dubai news. So Dubai will build the highest metro station. It's about impressive. It's about 74 meters, almost 80 meters. We can hear from this picture, like the blue line will be built in the Creek Harbor, and all the metro on the highway will pass through the creek. So this is the reason why the metro station has been built in the very high altitude. Well, yeah, very high. Yeah, had to be built very high. Yeah, okay, it's not altitude. This is also I saw this map from the last week in some media. I guess it could be this station, right? The station here, the blue line. It's just past the creek, and interesting, the line didn't will not go will not pass the creek harbor, will beside it. Okay, interesting. Also, some people they look at the international city is a joint point between joint point of two lines. In the 2024, DP World sets automotive record in the UAE, handling over 1 million vehicles. This China, we have to especially have a look at China, contributed almost 25% of the total vehicle volume. Following that is I think it's Japan and yeah, the Southeast countries, I think. EV is projected to surpass the traditional uh, internal combustion engine vehicles by 2036. I believe China has already even passed the traditional cars, but in the UAE, this number will well they will pass about 2036. So China manufactures more than half of the world's EVs. Let's look at Yeah, the EU on Tuesday. EU on Tuesday, they have announced that they have removed the UAE from its money laundering high risk list. So we have known that in the last year, I think, or maybe the year ahead, so year before, UAE was removed from the grey list on Tuesday, on the last Tuesday. So it also removed from the EU's high risk list. So currently, the list included many African countries and Laos from Asia, and Nepal from Asia, uh, and Monaco from Europe. There's many money laundering activities happening there. At the same time, it has removed Philippines, Panama, Jamaica, Barbados, Uganda. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, here it also mentioned. So last year. So UAE was removed from the FATF, FATF's grey list, and also the Pakistan Prime Minister met UAE's president, I think, in the last week. Yeah, and Iran has launched about yeah, I think launched a lot of drones in Israel. But all these activities don't have much effect on the UAE's uh, residential and property market, and also the stock market. So it does have here is mentioned has some early trade down, but later it bounced back very quick. And in the last week, also one thing happened. The flight from India was the accident, right? The accident. The location is called what's the name? The name of the location? Oh, here is mentioned. The location is Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad. Many people from Ahmedabad they do the gold business in Dubai. So this this accident more or less has influenced some Dubai's gold business. And yeah, here's mentioned Dubai's gold from Africa mostly, I think, and also from Russia, Turkey, and Switzerland. There's no domestic mines, so people just trading gold here. And I checked the price here. It's 390 a gram for 22K. Uh, it's almost, I think it's a little cheaper than China. While in the last month I back to China, I checked price is almost 400 dirham per gram. So now I will have know that in the last few weeks the gold price rised again. So Dubai is still a little cheaper than in the consumer market, still a little cheaper than China, I think. Dubai announced the 4 days working week for government employees over summer. So they can either work 4 days or they can work 4 days with 7 hours and one more day with half day. Yeah, it's quite enjoyable for them. So let's look at the Miasa. So GCC budget spending uh, is is on a deficit. So the revenue here is mentioned that all the Arab states of the Gulf revenue in 2025 totaled 487 billion, but expenditure reached 542 billion, so resulting in an estimated deficit of 54 billion dollars. So almost 10% is run on the deficit. Um, I think mostly is in Saudi. Saudi has been running in deficit for almost 2 years. The economic condition is in Saudi is I believe is on the edge. It's not a so Saudi here is mentioned Saudi Arabia's economy expanded by 3.4% in 2025 Q1. 4.9% is surge in non-oil activities, 3.2 increase in government activities. Oil-related activities declined slightly by 0.5%. In the last week, when the strike happening in Iran, there's oil price. There's a big jump in the oil price, but I don't know. Maybe historically, s- such crisis happened many times, and every time the oil price will be back to the previous level in several weeks. So I think this time uh, the 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 situation will remain the same, and the oil production is very resilient. So I don't think only in the short term it will influence some oil price, influence the other Middle East countries' economic condition, but in the long term, it will not change much. It will not change much thing. Here's also about Saudi. Okay, and here this figure I want to mention that the oil, no, the Israel strike on Iranian nuclear facility. This thing is quite surprising. We cannot expect the war. We cannot expect such thing. We can see before 3 days ago, the possibility is just about 10%, but it goes very quickly, like from 10% to the 50%. Now I think it's 100%. So it's change sharply. So yeah, I purchased the no, but I lost all the money purchasing the no. So I should sell my no option at this time, but later on it reached this level, so my all my investment went to zero because the result is yes. Here's also news about Pakistan. Pakistan's stock market, I think it's reached a historical high. Uh, no, how is Pakistan's recent condition? But from my understanding, it's not meaning that their economy is good. It's just showing that their currency depreciate a lot. Their currency is losing their value. So that's the reason make the stock market or the enterprises their price going high. Here's Oman residential property price jump 7.3% in Q1 on land demand. Let's look at East Asia and the Middle East. So Chinese trendy toy Labubu witnessed surge in popularity price amid panic buying. Yeah, there's nothing more to say. So if I have money, I will short Popmart, but I don't have the money. So Popmart is price is super high. So if you're gonna short it, you better short it a small amount at each time. So in the long term, uh, you will surely get your profit, and also at the same time you reduce your risk on loss. And in the last week, the ICBC they have issued a green bond, list a green bond in the Nasdaq Dubai. So the total amount is $1.7 billion. Hmm. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. Let's look at the global market. This is the sculpture in front of the bull in the Wall Street. If you go to New York, you must have seen the girl, and also you must have seen the bull. Okay, and currently there's a very strong de-dollarization trend. So it's happening in Asia, it's happening globally. And here's the U.S. core inflation rates, is less than forecast for fourth month. So the inflation in US is currently is well under the control. Uh, okay, let's look at the gold. Like we have mentioned that there's a very strong de-dollarization trend. And here you can see the red is representing gold, and the light blue is the US dollar. Dark blue is the euro. We are seeing that there's a downtrend in the euro. There's also downtrend in the US dollar. I think in the last more than 20 years. Um, and there's gold trend. It cannot. It's not in last 20 years. I think it's almost 10 years is a cycle. The first cycle is from 2000 to 2010. I think it's from 2005 is a minimum reserve, but 2010, after great financial crisis, the gold reserve reached a new high, and since then the gold reserve getting down, and now it's again to it's reaching a new high as well. So this is the latest trend. So all the central banks and the households they keep accumulating gold as a reserve. So there's a downtrend on dollar, but there's a uptrend on gold reserve. So currently, gold is the second most important reserve asset for central banks. Uh, if you are a person, individual investor, you have to look at this figure as well. You should also put gold as your second most important reserve, maybe because in the if really the world come to the war time, uh, the gold is really important for people to make a living. So currently the gold price is it has surged to a record high. It's about $3,000 per ounce. And also in 2025, gold is the best performance asset globally. It's almost a 30% increase. Bitcoin is 15%. Emerging market stock is little more than 10%. Well, interesting. Japanese yen has a 10% value appreciation. So dollar depreciate about 10%. Wow, wow. Now here is about oil price. Oil price we let me put it here. I think no, put it here is okay. Okay. So here is the map about the oil supply. All these are the refinery and the ports as well. So here are the ports. You can see it clearly. So most refinery you can see like 40% are in the Middle East. 40% oil produced by Saudi Arabia, and almost 20% by Kuwait, this area. Another 20-30% by the UAE. Iran they have very limited supply to the global, and also majority of supply go to the countries which are friendly to Iran. So you all know what I'm talking about. So overall, Iran's supply has limited influence to the global market. So you can see the recently shot rise is highly supposed to be getting down in the short future. Let's look at the company. So the in the last week, the Dubai financial market getting down 1.2% because the Middle East crisis. Um, but most stocks are very stable. They don't have very big retreat. They just a little getting a little down. So in a year, so Dubai financial market increased 37% yearly, and Abu Dhabi is 9% yearly. So Egypt is 24%, I think Egypt is in the similar situation with Pakistan. Their currency depreciate a lot, so their stock market perform very well. So I believe this is the reason. But I didn't look into in detail. So um, here is the other market performance. So the U.S. stock market increased almost 10% in the last year. And Hong Kong Hang Seng Index performed very well in the last year as well. It's 30% increase. Wow, it's as good as Dubai, as good as the UAE market, as good as Dubai market. Wow, it's well done, Hong Kong. Uh, this is another rates in Dubai, I think. So you can see in the last peak of the property market, this race was launched, and at that time its price is 1.4 dirham. During the since it's launched, its price getting keep getting lower, and in the 2020, its price reached the minimum about 0.2. You can see just almost 70% loss. Only recently, because the property market is booming, so its performance is getting better, and now it's announced it will distribute the first dividend since 2019. So all these years there's no dividend, and also the price is it's very low. So you can see the risk is not a good investment. Uh, I wish you can know that. Ima Properties launch a platform, okay, and just increase the rating on Ima Property. And UAE Property, Dubai real estate sector record 4.4 billion of transactions last week. Uh, so overall, it's still you for the Dubai property market is still in uptrend. Uh, the market is not getting a lot of cooler. It's just compared with I think it's compared with the compared with the last quarter, the price just getting a little cooler, but not much, about 10% decrease I think. Not price, I mean the trading volume, trading value, trading volume, trading value, yeah, total trading value. And here many other companies they are not in the real estate market, real estate industry, but they want to come to the real estate industry to do some development because the money here is very good for their performance. It's a similar effect with the Bitcoin to the company's performance. So here in UAE, uh, the real estate market has a similar influence on the companies. If companies choose to do the real estate, its performance will be supposed to be getting better. Here you can see this is BI is a company handling with the garbage, but now it's well expansion into real estate development, and I think it's and many more projects are launching. This tower is very high, so many tall towers uh, are launched in the last 1 2 years. There's many new projects they are launching. Mm. Okay, let's look at the crypto. So in the last week, tokenized the real estate was selling very well. So they have sold two projects. I think there are hundreds of investors and from 30 nationalities. So it's a good thing. Uh, they have sold this is their second property. I think it's a one flat. It's just a one flat. So I don't know. It's somewhere in this building. and the total value is I think it's about 1 million dirham. No, 2 million dirham. Yeah, 2 million dirham, and 200 investors. On average, the amount is 10,000 dirham. It's sold out in 2 minutes. It's interesting. Um, the platform is called Prepco. Prep Prepco, I think. Yeah, okay. So maybe this is all for the last week. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week. Bye bye.